Hi, this is Little Dwarf playing games while rambling incoherently into a microphone. Why? Well, just because I can, and I continue with Arcanum of Steamworks and Magick Obscura, Blind, and now I have arrived in Tarant, the largest and most technologically advanced city in all of Arcanum apparently, and I have quite a few things to do here, but as always I will start by methodically exploring all of the surrounding areas. I imagine this is trash. Do I want any of this? Not really. Nothing in here. I will go basically door to door and talk with everyone I can. Okay, no one here either. I don't think there's anything else this way. So basically I need to go inside. Oh, do they have like a metro? That would be interesting. Because that definitely looks like a metro entrance, right? It doesn't look like I can enter it though. Well, let's continue exploring the nearby houses. It's interesting, they are all empty. Like, I wonder if they are new, or if the people have been resettled or something? Like, well, what's the matter with all of the empty houses? Human guards, human bandit, interesting. I would not enter the boil if I were you, sir. Why not? That is the boil in there. You will never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy. That's a quote from The New Hope, Star Wars The New Hope. It's what Obi-Wan said of Mos Eisley, right? I would not expect someone of your inexperience to last more than a few moments in there. Thanks for the warning. So I guess I'll go the other way first. Oh, wait. Okay, that was unexpected. So I guess this is also the boil. So I will leave this be for now. Maybe return later when I gain a little bit of experience, because I have quite a few things to do here in Tarant. So I guess this is like a slum area on the outskirts of the city. That's a pretty beautiful bridge. Locked. Is it because it's too late? I guess I will wait until the morning. Oh, wait. Yeah, that's better. But this is still locked. Kennington, Broadway? Langston Road. Okay. I'll talk with some people. Human noble. Bugger off, you lousy dwarf. I beg your... I don't think there is any call for rudeness, madame. Oh, please forgive me. I didn't understand your station. I mistook you for one of the lower class. That's quite alright. Do you know anyone offering work? There is something... this beautiful, finely dressed woman casts a cautious glance around before addressing you in hushed tones. There is something a resourceful individual might be able to help me with. And what would that be? We can't talk in here. Please meet me at my house later. I will fill you in. I reside at 3 Langston Road. Good day. Okay. This is a paper boy. I'll get a paper. I would like to buy a newspaper. Tell me the headline of today's newspaper. Noted swordsmith gives lecture. They want to buy this newspaper? Sure. How much? 4 coins. Okay, of course. It is completed. Let's take a look. This one is, I believe, an older one. Yeah, it's different. Because I've read this one already about the war with Kaladin brewing. Noted swordsmith gives lecture. Controversial theories spark debate. Richard Leeks, master swordmaker, held a lecture in Stillwater regarding similarities between scientific disciplines and the study and execution of magic. Leeks pointed that the tradition of hex binding and artifice do not differ in any great way from the modern progressive methods of science. Attention to details, the specifics of ingredients, shape and size, which are like second nature to a hexsmith, are mirrored by the blacksmith, stated Leeks. A mage judges an artifact in the same way a mechanist judges his tools. The goal is the same in both schools: effect change on the world through careful regular method. Despite angry hisses from mostly elven audience, Leeks was calm and collected throughout the entire lecture. Leeks is well known for his Stillwater blades, which he forges himself, and then has enchanted by a local wizard. There is no reason why the technologist and the mage should be at odds. We use similar techniques, and at the very least, we should respect each other. Now that's an interesting point, and I believe, in a way, that is true, in this world. Because, like, we in the real world are hard-coded to see magic, to see belief in magic as irrational, but that's because nobody has ever proved that magic exists. If it did, then I believe it could very well be sort of another branch of science. It is actually the case in some fantasy worlds. For example, in the world of The Witcher, mages are actually scientists. Like, they concern themselves with genetics and medicine and physics and all that, in addition to doing plain old magic. So that is totally reasonable to me. Weather. The Meteorological Service Bureau of Tarant is predicting sunny weather for the next 2 to 3 days, with an increasing chance of precipitation before the passing of a fortnight. Tax increase. The Parliament is again considering raising the levy of incomes in Tarant by another 2 coins for every 100 earned. The Speaker has refuted all public criticism of the increase by citing the importance of the public work projects currently underway. Public servants announcement. There will be a council meeting this Friday. Okay. What else can I find here? Castletown's general store. Okay, let's visit it. Why not? You're a stone-brained dwarf if I ever saw one. What sort of wares do you carry here? I sell a variety of general goods. All are of excellent quality and manufacture. I see that you are amazed by my selection. Don't be, just look around and let me know if I can assist you. I'm looking for a training as an apprentice. I actually have training in persuasion already, yeah, right. What can you tell me about Schuyler and Sons? Sounds like a company, but I'm not sure where they are. I'm pretty sure they are in Tarant as well. So it's weird that he doesn't know. Let us trade, sir. That is indeed quite a large selection of goods. Okay, that has fetched a rather hefty price, all things considered, so I'm pretty happy with that. Okay, I'm not going to sell the potions of heal poison. On the contrary, actually, I'm going to pull them on my quick use bar. Do I want to buy anything? I don't think so. I'm going to hoard some money for quests and such, and maybe for training as well. Human city dweller. I must be going. Okay, so no conversation with him. 3 Langston Road, the Pettibone residence. Is that where the woman lives? Yeah, right. Cassandra Pettibone. Good you came. I need to know whether you can be discreet. I have something important I need done, but no one must know about it. My discretion depends on what are you asking of me, miss. Excuse me, where are my manners? I'm Mrs. Cassandra Pettibone, wife of Basil Pettibone, lower assemblyman of the gnomish conglomerate within the Industrial Council. Interesting. So it's an interracial marriage. Obviously, there's nothing wrong with those in real life. And whoever, I wonder if there even are people who nowadays seriously still hold beliefs about miscegenation. But it's interesting in this case because, you know, human races are not really a thing. Like, genetically speaking, there's not, you know, it's mostly a difference in phenotype, that is the looks. So, you know, it's not that big of a deal, but those are literally different races as in different species. So I wonder how an interracial marriage in terms of a classical fantasy world you know, would work, and if it would. But, you know, it would be rather rude to ask her if they can have children and how does that work. Anyway, pleased to meet you. Now about this job. I must tell you, I've been in such a state since that Mrs. Willowsby brought home her elven funeral dagger. She thinks she's such a hate of fashion. I see. What would you like done about this? He wants me to steal it, right? Here, look at this. She hands you a newspaper. Have you heard about the elven burial catacombs underneath the Morabian Plains? Look at the engraving of the old funerary stone. It's fabulous. I must have it. I will think this over. Please return if you decide to take me up on my offer. Elven tombs discovered. Discovery of tombs in the Morabian Plains by the learned Professor R.A. James caused much excitement. Professor William G. Harrisman is set to embark on an expedition to the Morabian Plains, where a new series of ancient elvish tombs have recently been unearthed, including this exquisite example of a prehistoric elven funerary art. According to the learned Professor R.I. James of the Tarantian University, who is currently on the scene, these tombs are conclusively proof that prehistoric elven society buried their dead in the ground, as they have previously theorized. Professor James discovered the tombs while searching the region for more of the fossils, which have so delighted visitors to the Polytechnic Hall of Natural History. This unprecedented collaboration between Mr. James and Harrisman is a unique event in the histories of their respective institutions of employment, and perhaps heralds a new cooperation between the two. In any case, the curate was most effusive? I don't know that word. in the praise of the kindness and good judgment of Professor James, who immediately sent for him when the nature of the discovery became clear. Weather, not exactly interesting. Tax increase. Apparently there have been tax increases all the time, because those are all different issues. Do I want to steal from elven tombs? To be honest, that sounds kind of low, but you know, it's a game. I might be forced to you know, stretch my standards a little bit. I will think about it. The Willowsby residence. Half ogre guard. Hello, sir. May I help you? May I ask who you are, good ogre? Yes, of course. I am Lorham. I am an employee of Mr. Edward Willowsby, in whose home you are currently standing. I see. Is Mr. Willowsby at home? I'm afraid Mr. Willowsby is currently in Caledon on some important business for the Tarantian Industrial Council. I'm sure he'll have some time to speak with you when he returns. And when will he return? I'm not sure, but feel free to stop any time. I'm always here, watching over things. I must go, okay. Apparently there's a cemetery here. The lock on this door is missing and appears as it has been recently pried open. The cover on this matchbook reads, "Visit the Wellington, the finest gentleman club in all of Tarant, located at 77 Vermilion Road." So I believe this is evidence of a break-in. So I will take it, because I'm pretty sure there has to be a quest about it or something, because this clearly indicates that this has been broken into. And what about this? Yeah, this one is locked. Okay. Half-elf city dweller. I hate dwarfs. I do not feel there is need for such rudeness. I suppose not. What do you want of me? I need information. Have you heard anything interesting? All roads lead to Vermilion Station. That's what they say, my friend. Biggest train station in all of Arcanum, that is. Okay. Anything else? Not really, farewell. Moorland residence. You dwarfs nauseate me. Why am I so rude? You cannot possibly live here, underling. Who are you? I'm Laura, the housekeeper. Could you help me with something? Maybe. That depends on your request. Apprentice training in Haggle. Don't really need that. Any news? Might be a good idea to lock up your valuables. There's been a number of robbery in the city, mostly of precious art. Thanks. Okay. Halster residence. Bugger off, you lousy dwarf. I'm busy. Okay, apparently this one does not want to talk. Wellington's Gentleman's Club. But let me explore the rest of the residential district, as it were. The Garringsburg residence. What is it, you ignorant dwarf? Excuse me, madame. Need we resort to such unpleasantness? She seems taken aback. Forgive me, sir. I was merely overcome by my obvious incorrect impression of you. Please forgive the outburst. Of course, who might you be? She looks distracted and somewhat distraught. Where are my manners? I'm Mrs. Evelyn Garringsburg. Please make yourself comfortable. I'm sorry, what did you say your name was? My name is Hargrim Stonehand. A pleasure to meet you, madame. Very good. It's so nice to meet well-bred individuals. Now I hate to be rude, but I must really excuse myself. I have so much to deal with, what with the robbery and all. Robbery, madame? Is there anything I can do? I'm afraid there's little to be done. 2 nights ago there was a break-in here in the mansion. In the morning we awoke to find some of our most prized possession had been stolen, including our beloved Kergan and Persephone, a Pizarro original. I'm so very sorry. Have the police any leads? The police have had little luck in catching the criminals. It seems they've covered their tracks pretty well. There's a local paper around here somewhere describing the incident. She gestures lazily. You're welcome to it, and I so loved that painting. Perhaps I could offer my services in finding the painting? Of course, I would be more grateful. Would you do that? I could offer you 300 gold pieces if you were to return it. Of course, I'd be honored to take the job. Splendid, thank you so much. I'll await your return. Might I ask you a few questions about the crime? Of course. What would you like to know? How was your house broken into? The front door. It was a professional job, and we have heard nothing from our bed. Our butler, Polgrim, she points to her half-ogre servant, was outside on his nightly patrol. The thief was in and out in minutes. I see. Did anyone else have a key to your house? No, my husband and I are the only ones who have keys to the manor. Even Polgrim is without one. I see. Who knew the painting was here at the house? No one beyond our closest friends. Of course, my husband is apt to go out drinking with his friends on occasion. Are there any men who don't enjoy such infrequent snifter? What? I'm encountering a lot of words I don't usually encounter in English. Infrequent snifter of brandy. I suppose he might have revealed it in the public in one of his weaker moments. I see. A few general questions. I'm still looking for the painting. I hope you find it soon, my friend. Was there anything else? I must depart. And no one to talk to you. Okay, let's read the newspaper. Garringsburg heist. Painting stolen. Thieves still at large. Late on a Tuesday evening, in the mansion of Mr. and Mrs. Evelyn Garringsburg at 37 Devonshire Way was broken into by thieves and ransacked, according to sources close to the family. Among the many items stolen was the famed Kergan and Persephone painted by Pizarro, sold last year at Renaud's for a reputed 50,000 gold pieces. The painting was the showpiece of the Garringsburg Gallery. Mr. Garringsburg, a long-standing member of the Wellington's Gentleman Club, had this to say: "You can be assured that the perpetrators of this heinous crime will be brought to justice, and that the reparations will be made." Mrs. Garringsburg, who was unavailable for comment, the Garringsburg have offered a 300 gold piece reward. The crime is only the latest of many art-related robberies, which have included a Lorek in Repose statue and the Blendom vase. Okay, weather, tax increase. There will be a city council meeting this Friday, which is open to the public. Okay. Okay, there's a bunch of shops in here. I don't think I was in this one. Thurston's Fashion Palace. Okay, let's just talk to him. I hate dwarves. What sort of wares do you carry here? I sell a variety of general goods, all of excellent quality and manufacture. I see that you are amazed. Don't be, just look around and let me know if I can assist you. Okay. What kind of apprenticeship do you offer? I have persuasion already. Do you have anything particularly interesting? Not really. Oh well, I guess I will leave for now. Let me take a look at the map. So, those are the slums. I'm not going in there yet because I got killed last time. I've been here and here, and I've explored most of this, I guess. Or did I? I guess I didn't explore those back buildings, and I stopped at this, which is the Gentleman's Club, right? Or even this. This seems to be like a workers' district. You know, it's obviously poorer than this one, judging from the state of the buildings. Oh, and there's some kind of a palace as well. Okay, I'm getting a little bit overwhelmed already. And let me continue over here. I will visit the Gentleman's Club, but first... oh, that's the shop. Schuyler and Sons. There is a dwarf.
I don't want anything to do with you or your kind.
Okay, he's voiced, which signals to me that he's probably an important character. So I should probably talk to him. We haven't even met, sir. What could be the problem?
You've gone and put yourself on my bad side. I think it would be in your best interest to leave this dwarf alone.
What's his problem? Is it because I'm hideous? Please, let's try to work this out.
A commendable attempt at reconciliation, but I just don't think I can get over my grievances with you.
I'm willing to do whatever it takes to win you over.
You are quite determined. Oh, all right. I can't help but forgive your obvious character flaws.
Character flaws. Yeah, it is because I'm ugly. That's more like it. May I ask your name?
Who might you be to ask a dwarf his name? Bloody ignorant outlander, I'd say. As if a dwarf would give his name.
What? What is that? I am a dwarf. I assume my character knows at least the basic dwarven customs? So if dwarf names are secret, which incidentally is not that strange of an idea because even in Lord of the Rings, you know, in Tolkien's Legendarium of Middle-earth, dwarves had two names, and they didn't, their actual dwarven name, they didn't tell anyone. It was a secret their entire lives, and they took ordinary names to use in public. But still, it's weird that he says that to my character, who is also a dwarf. Forgive me, I wasn't aware it was such a breach in etiquette. Weird.
Excuse me, you don't need to take such treatment from this dwarf. Bloody annoying little runt, if you ask me.
Your opinion has been noted, Virgil.
I mean, look at him, putting on airs like he's some sort of native dwarf. I'd be surprised if he's ever even been out of the city in his entire life. You can always smell a city dwarf a mile away. He's probably got a manicure. His beard looks a bit scraggly too. Probably out past his bedtime.
Enough, Virgil. Now, what seems to be the problem, sir?
I was saying that it was bloody rude of you to be asking me, a dwarf, for his name. It's not something to be thrown out and away like the day's rubbish.
Yeah, exactly. Even being a dwarf, I don't see the offense. Pardon me, but even being a dwarf, I don't see the offense.
I suppose there might be different traditions among different clans. Perhaps I've been a bit too quick-tempered. Please, call me Magnus.
A pleasure, sir. Tell me more about this belief you have.
Well, dwarves are an ancient race, and our traditions run deep. A dwarf's true name, his family name, is a sacred thing, a thing of mystery and power. Magnus is my common name. If I knew you well, I'd also tell you my family name. But Magnus will do for now.
Okay, that's actually very similar to what I just told you about Tolkien. Why are you so protective of your family name?
Dwarven names are symbolic, a reflection of our history, who we are. A dwarf who gives just anyone his name has no respect for that history.
Thank you for sharing some of your clan's beliefs.
Perhaps I judged you too quickly, brother. Forgive me. Well met. How may I help you?
Might I ask you a few questions?
What is it that you need to know?
Do you know what establishment this is?
Yes, I do. And I curse the day I ran across the devils who own it. Ungodly bunch they are. I can only guess what goes on behind those doors. That building is the headquarters for the infamous P. Schuyler and Sons.
What can you divulge about P. Schuyler and Sons?
What can I divulge, you ask? Where would you like me to begin? P. Schuyler and Sons is the oldest business in Tarant, a trader in jewelry and the occasional rare or sought-after trinket or bauble. Their business reputation is untarnished, second to none.
And yet there is something strange about them?
Strange? Strange doesn't begin to describe what they are. Do you know that no one has seen the supposed owner, Polonius Schuyler, or his sons in more than 15 years? And even then, the gentleman who saw them, a trader in gems from Ireland, died a week later from what they could only describe as consumption.
What else is said about them?
Have you heard about the Eyeless Five? 8 years ago, there were 5 ruby pendants sold at auction through P. Schuyler and Sons. All the ladies who wore them were murdered, their eyes plucked from their heads.
Wow, that's actually pretty hardcore. What with the eye plucking? Why would P. Schuyler and Sons plot to kill their customers?
Why do madmen do anything? They're bloody madmen, that's why! If you're not going to use the sense you were born with, then I'll not continue. Suffice it to say that P. Schuyler and Sons is an extremely unusual company. I'm not the only one to think so.
What else have you heard about them?
Who knows what atrocities are committed within these walls? People swear they hear strange noises within the building when the sun sets. Clanking of chains, moanings, muffled screams. Do you see the symbol carved above their name? The bird with the snake's head. Do you know what it is? The Darien-Ka, the ancient order of the dead.
To be honest, I can't discern that. But, so, this is more of my character's observation as opposed to mine, because I can't, like, I see the wings, but besides that, are you sure that's a snake's head? It looks to be a griffin. Maybe.
A griffin? Use your eyes, man. It's obviously a most dark and dreaded talisman.
I see. Then what are you doing here?
I might ask you the same, my friend. You seem awfully curious about P. Schuyler and Sons. What brings you here?
I'm investigating a ring. It appears they were the sellers.
Interesting. I, too, am investigating one of their products. I saw it for sale in a pawn shop down the merchant's quarter, and it had their imprint. Would you like to see it?
Yes, very much so. The dwarf shows you a rather plain-looking bronze bracelet with some faded scratching, barely visible along its outer surface. On the inside, you see the imprint of P. Schuyler and Sons. A rather nondescript piece, I'd say. What is it? What's its significance?
Nondescript? This bracelet is ancient, an unbelievable find, and the final piece to a puzzle I've spent my whole life trying to unravel.
Out with it, man. Don't keep me hanging on a thread.
Do you see these dwarven gauntlets I wear? They were given to me by my grandfather, who in turn received them from his. Do you see the symbol carved on them? It's the same as the symbol carved on the bracelet. These gauntlets are the only link I possess to my ancestors, my clan, lost to my family since before any of us can remember.
Who was your clan? Why was your family separated from them?
Never ask a dwarf the name of his clan! I'd sooner cut my beard than tell you the sacred name of my people. Such an action might be considered blasphemy. And as for my family, that's none of your concern. We were lost to them, and I've spent the last 200 years looking for where they might have gone.
Okay, that's pretty weird how my character seemingly knows nothing about being a dwarf. Like, there are supposedly all of those traditions that he tells me about, how it's rude to ask a dwarf his clan name or whatever. But shouldn't my character know that? He is a dwarf himself. 200 years? Just how old are you?
Well, that's another dwarven tradition. We don't talk about our age with outlanders.
Funny, I never knew that our age was a well-guarded secret.
Yes, well, perhaps you're descended from a less orthodox clan than I. That must be it.
Sure, that's kind of fishy. That's very possible. Have you talked with the Schuyler's?
That, my friend, is the point of this whole story. I've tried on multiple occasions to speak with the Schuyler's concerning this bracelet and where they got it. But I've been stonewalled by their employees from the very beginning. They're hiding something. I know it!
What could they possibly be trying to conceal?
The sources behind their inventory, the reasons for their reclusiveness, who knows? But I do know that I'm gonna find out where they got this bracelet, regardless of what is necessary to do so.
I see. Well, perhaps we could work together?
Hey? Nope. It looks like you've got a full house already.
Oh.
A dwarf always chooses his companions wisely. And I just don't know about you. I do wish you luck in your search, though. If I do find anything out, I'll share it with you.
I'd appreciate any information you might uncover. Goodbye. Okay, so I'll try dismissing Jayna, because judging from the fact he has fully voiced dialogue and she hasn't, I would imagine she's more important. I mean, he's much more important to the plot than she is. So I will. Oh, she has a bow. Interesting. Interesting. But I will take. Okay, I need to give some things to Virgil. Maybe the newspapers, they are rather light, but take a lot of space. I'll keep the passport and give him the note. What else can I give him? Okay, I'll give him the staff as well. Okay, and now I'll take the sword of her, because this is a very good weapon. I'll leave her dress, because that would be pretty rude to undress her before, sending her away. Not to mention, Magnus is probably not going to wear a dress, even if he chooses to join me. Okay, so I will try dismissing her. I will save manually. What can I do for you? I would like you to do something for me, Jayna. I think you'd best leave the group. Oh, she seems very sad and a little frightened. Well, I'm sure I'll find something to do around here. Goodbye. Okay, I kind of feel guilty about that, but as I said, he seems much more important to the plot.
You again? I didn't like you much the first time.
What seems to be the problem, Magnus?
You've gone and put yourself on my bad side. I think it would be in your best interest to leave this dwarf alone.
Please, let's try to work this out.
A commendable attempt at reconciliation, but I just don't think I can get over my grievances with you.
I'm willing to do whatever it takes.
You are quite determined. Oh, all right. I can't help but forgive your obvious character flaws.
That's more like it. May I ask you a few questions?
What is it that you need to know?
Would you like to join me?
Perhaps. I do see some potential in you, my friend, and you seem trustworthy. Done. Let us proceed and throw some light on this mystery.
Okay, well said. Good to have you aboard, Magnus. Now, let's look at his character sheet and disable his auto-leveling scheme. So, is he skilled? He's apparently skilled in technology. What kind of technology? Smithy and mechanical. So the exact same that I am. Although I guess I have no points in mechanical at this point. So he might be useful for making some traps and stuff, because I do have a couple of spikes, and I do believe I have at least one spring. So he might be able to do a couple of traps for me. But also, I wanted to see his inventory.
How can I help you?
Magnus's bracelet and Roan's almanac of all things dwarven. Oh, wait.
Hey, get that over. I didn't say you could go and take my personal property. That's a special book to me.
Is he, was he adopted by humans? And, because my impression now, seeing that book, because why would a dwarf have an almanac of all things dwarven? And especially now, combined with his strange, talking points about the supposed dwarven tradition, of which my character, who is also a dwarf, does not know anything, it makes me think that he might have been, raised outside of dwarven society, so he feels embarrassed about it, and he pretends like he has read an encyclopedic entry about dwarves and tries to act like a dwarf, but doesn't know how, because he didn't have any contact with actual dwarves as he was raised. Magnus, what is this? Roan's almanac of all things dwarven?
Ah, yes, that was a gift from an old friend. Bloody useless thing. Carry it more to get a laugh than anything else. As if a dwarf would need such a foolish book.
Yeah. That's obviously kind of suspicious. Would you mind if I held on to it then?
Yes, of course. You keep it for a while. As I said, good for a laugh or two. But, could you just make sure and return it? I mean, when you're quite through, it was a gift after all. Lots of memories. And, well, just make sure it stays in one piece.
Okay, that's kind of funny, but also kind of, almost kind of touching, because I feel for him, really. If my assumption is correct, then he feels an intense source of shame over not being connected with his own dwarven roots, so he tries to pretend that he knows all of those things, and he's clearly embarrassed about having this book on him, but it's probably the only thing that he knows about dwarves, if he really was raised separately from them. And maybe that's why he didn't want to tell me about his clan, because he doesn't know what his clan is, but he wouldn't like to say that, because obviously that's embarrassing for him as well. So he came up with all of this tradition about how supposedly it's rude to ask a dwarf about his clan name. Of course, Magnus, let's be off. I wanted to trade with him and see what kind of inventory. Yeah, it seems he has no weapon, in which case he will appreciate this sword. Great. Now, let me actually read Rohan Almanacs of all things dwarven. From deep within the heart of the Stonewall Mountains, home to the magnificent halls of the Wheel Clan, do I bring you, humble reader, this tome pertaining to all things dwarven. Though it is true that I, Gideon Percival Rohan, have never actually set foot within those halls, I have spent my life in the dwarvish studies, and have even shared words with a dwarf or two in my day, I can wholeheartedly testify to the authenticity of the information imparted within. Okay, this is ridiculous. He's basing all of his information about dwarves, I assume, on a book that was written by someone who has talked with a dwarf or two in his life and has never actually been to a dwarf city. The most important thing for one to know about our dwarven brothers is that their culture is based upon honor. Every word they speak, every action they take, must be grounded in honor. For instance, let us take the subject of a dwarven name. A dwarf, under no circumstances, will speak his name to one that he does not call his friend. And what a thing it is to be a dwarven friend indeed. A dwarf would not think twice to throw down his life in defense of a friend. But I digress. A dwarf's true name, his family name, is a sacred thing, a thing of mystery and power, according to their customs. Their names are symbolic, being reflection of their history and who they are in this world. If a dwarf trusts you, he will perhaps impart his common name unto you, but if he utters his family name in your ear, you are blessed with the trust of a friend you are blessed with the truest friend you will ever know. One must be aware when approaching a dwarf, things one must never say or do, for while it is said that a dwarf's patience is as long as their axe handle, I know firsthand that the fury of a dwarven rebuke, when one runs afoul of the dwarven etiquette, never must one insult the beard of a dwarf. Next to his name, his beard is his most prized treasure. A dwarf is measured by the grandness of his facial growth, and to refer to it in less than reverential tones is to beg a beating. Furthermore, asking a dwarf to name his clan is tantamount to slapping him in the face. The name of his clan holds the sacredness of his own name tenfold in his heart, so do not ask unless you wish to test his mettle, which I can in no way recommend. Lastly, never ask a dwarf about dwarven women. For some mysterious reason, their women are hidden away and never even whispered among themselves. I myself made the near fatal mistake of attempting to ascertain whether a female of the dwarven species grew facial hair, and was fortunate to escape only severely maimed. Okay, that's quite funny. And it is true that I have not met a single dwarven female so far, and in fact, during the character creation, you can't create a dwarf woman. You must be a man if you want to be a dwarf. So, that's interesting. How much time do I have? About 10 minutes, I guess. I can enter the shop. Hello, welcome to Schuyler and Sons, dealers in the rare and beautiful. My name is James Kingsford. How may I help you? Hello, I would like to talk with someone concerning this ring. What exactly can I help you with? Did you purchase this ring from Schuyler and Sons? Not exactly, I was given the ring by someone. I'm sorry, but we don't guarantee the quality of our products unless they were purchased directly from us. If there's nothing else, I really must get back to work. No, you don't understand. Perhaps if I spoke to Mr. Schuyler? I'm afraid that's quite impossible. The Schuylers are extremely busy men, and I know they can't be bothered with something as trivial as your concerns with a product you didn't even buy. But wait, I just need to find out who... I'm glad you stopped by. Feel free to browse the store if you like. Have a good day. Welcome to Schuyler and Sons. How may I help you? I really need to talk with someone about this ring. Afraid this is impossible. Okay, but what about the other option? Listen, Mr. Kingsford, I recommend you let me in here. Your tone seems to concern him. Oh really? On what grounds do you recommend that I let you in here? Am I going to lie? I'm from the Tarantian authorities. We're doing an investigation. I guess I am doing an investigation on the art thief. I mean art thievery, but it's not an official investigation. I'm a private investigator. He seems a bit shaken. The authorities? Why? He regains a little of his lost composure. I see. Well, in that case, I demand to see your credentials. You're in no position to demand anything. Open these doors. The ruse appears to work. Look, I have nothing to do with what's going on down there. I just work up here, watch the front door. What exactly is going on down there, Mr. Kingford? I can't talk about it. They did something to me. If I tell you, please, don't make me say anything. He hands you a key. Please just take it and let me go. Okay, I will let him go because I'm afraid they might have cursed him in a way that if he reveals their secrets, he's going to die. So I might as well learn the secrets myself, and in that case, he doesn't have to die. Alright, James, you can leave. I'll take care of this. Thank you, I'm leaving. I'll promise I'll never come back. Okay. So, let me explore the... There's a candlestick here.
What is it that you want of me?
Okay, I have a key for something. Actually, let's talk a little more with Magnus. Ah, there's a trapdoor to like a basement. So this is a perfect moment to talk with Magnus.
How can I help you?
I have a few questions for you, Magnus.
What do you need to know?
What do you know about this place?
This is Tarant, my friend. Can't say as I know much about it. I do know that if you need to find someone in particular, you should stop by the Hall of Records. When I was looking for Peace Schuyler lessons, that's what I did.
Okay. One more thing.
How can I help you?
More questions?
What do you need to know?
I'd like to know a few things about you. Oh, this just shows me his character sheet, which isn't as helpful as I would have liked.
How can I help you?
Questions?
What do you need to know?
Any further thoughts about Schuyler and Sons?
Beyond the rumors of murder, mysticism, and foul play? No, I think that just about covers what I know, my friend.
Okay.
How can I help you?
Actually, what sort of things can you make? Can you make the traps, maybe? It could be potentially useful. Large spring. I definitely have the spikes, and I can give them to him. But I'm not sure if I have the spring. I might have sold it, unfortunately. But let me talk to Virgil anyway.
What is it that you want of me?
I mean, maybe not talk to him, but, you know, take the spikes. Oh, large spring, great. Great. So I can make a bunch of traps, maybe? And this way it will help me in a potential fight. Okay.
How can I help you?
Okay, make this. Because what else can he make? A trap springer. Have you been a victim of a deviously placed trap? Missing fingers, toes, or various other limbs of proof as the fact? Worry no more. A trap springer, made from a metal casing and a small spring, is placed upon any questionable door. So basically it springs the trap safely. Sure to stop the most ferocious and ill-mannered adversaries, this simple device is perfect for even the most novice of mechanics. Utilization of the most basic physical forces ensure that the spring drives the spike through almost anything that steps on it. The possibilities are endless and exciting. Exciting. Okay, so I made 2 traps, I guess. Oh! Actually, I made even more. How much does... it's quite heavy. Can I place it on the quick bar from another person's inventory? I guess I'll take 2 for now. And have it placed here, just in case. How encumbered am I? Not much, to be honest. I have quite a few small items, but I'm not encumbered at all, currently, which is good to know. Now, is my arm fixed? Nope. I still haven't, like, fully figured out. I probably should read the manual at one point or the other. It maybe would have made a couple of things easier. But for now, I feel like this episode might have been long enough, because I don't want to enter the trapdoor and then stop in like 5 minutes. That would be a little anticlimactic. I feel like some important plot-related things are going to happen soon, but for now, that's all for this one, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!